This is Eye on Columbus. I'm your host, Robin Wallace. Thanks for joining us today. I am in the studio with Monica Kobus from Right from the Start.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate
All right,
it.
well, Right from the Start, why don't you tell us what exactly that is?
Okay, well, Right from the Start is a marriage and family initiative in the Columbus area. We have been in existence since 2009, and we have served over 20,000 individuals in the community. And what we're all about is healthy relationships. Okay, so we are out there teaching people in different areas about healthy relationships. Mm-hmm. For example, we're in 6th grade and 9th grade teaching about healthy relationships. I polled some of the 6th graders back in January, and there were more that had seen unhealthy relationships than those that had seen healthy relationships. So the kids that are growing up today, unfortunately, at least the ones that I polled, they don't even know what a healthy relationship looks like. And so it's
unhealthy is the norm for so many.
Unhealthy is the norm, and they don't understand that, no, that's not okay.
Right, right.
So that's what we're doing. And we have an All-Pro Dad event, and it's free. So any of you dads can come on out on Friday mornings and learn how to be a better dad, and you bring your kids with you, and you take them out for breakfast, and you're with other dads that are very supportive, and we have special events for the dads. And that's a free program through the All-Pro Dad. It's a national organization. And then we teach premarital, like when people are engaged, because of course we want them to get it right from the start,
Yeah.
Then we teach marriage workshops, because we don't want marriages to just survive, and a lot of them just survive, especially after kids, and the priorities change and everything. We want these marriages to thrive. And one of the things that we do is a marriage chase. It's a 15-venue scavenger hunt in Columbus, Georgia, in downtown. And the couples compete against each other, and they run from one place to the other, and they have to get the clues. And it's just a fun way for them to get out, and they actually get extra things like kayak rentals and things like that to continue the fun.
Right.
So we do that, as well as one of the programs is for singles. It's Art of Loving Well. And we're teaching singles how to date. People don't know how to date anymore. One of the statistics that I just saw was 43% of 5,500 millennials that were surveyed said that they will actually have sex on the first night to determine if they're going to have a relationship with somebody.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy out there, and people don't know how to act, and they don't know how to date, and they're what are the rules now? And it's a very confusing time for the young adults, but also for those who are divorced and just getting back into dating. They're like, whoa, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to handle all of this.
Wow, that is staggering to me.
It really is staggering.
I mean, that parents aren't teaching their kids. Maybe they're thinking, I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, 48% of the homes here in Columbus, Georgia are single parent homes. So if you figure almost 50% are single parent homes, the kids don't see a relationship. Or if they do, it may not be in a marriage, people living together or whatever.
Right.
So
many of these, single parent families, it's, they're working, then they get home, then it's homework, or it's, extracurricular activities, it's baths, it's, dinner, it's bed. There's no time to talk about other things.
And the single parents, they're exhausted.
Sure.
They're exhausted, so.
Yeah, the married couples are exhausted. It's exhausting. I mean, There's a lot. Being a parent's hard.
I know, but at least when you're married, you can kind of tag team.
Right.
What do you do when you're single? But a lot of these homes, it's the grandmother and the mother, and then the children. I'm not just saying it's just grandmother. It might be the grandfather and the father. But one of the reasons why we do the All-Pro Dad is we want more dads to be involved in their kids' lives, because that is so critical. And we want the men to know that too, because it's empowering to know you are significant in your child's life, and we need you there. So,
and to have a resource to be able to talk to I need to talk to my child or children about some things, and to have an outlet and a place to go to talk to people and be able to discuss that. And
to learn new skills. I mean, we're not taught how to be parents.
No.
We're not taught that. We're taught all these other things in school, but we're not taught about relationships, about healthy relationships, or even dating. We're not taught about that.
That's so true.
But we're not taught about how to be parents. And before, we had role models. And we were in communities where everybody, their families were all located, and so you learned from that. Well, and also we were more church focused as well. And now, not so much.
True.
So people are struggling out there, and we are here to help them. We want to help them, and we do that through education.
Well, you have an event coming up.
We do have an event coming up. I'm so
Tell
excited
me
about this.
it. It sounds really neat.
Yeah, this is really cool. This is the first year that we're doing this. It's called Try to Relate. Okay, triathlon. Relate, because we're all about relationships. And what this is that you will have 30 days to complete these activities. You can choose. There are 3 options. You can choose to do all of the triathlete portions, which is a swim, a bike, and a run. Or you can choose just the run, which is a walk. I'll be walking. I will not be running. Okay? Or a hike. That's also included. Or you can do the no sweat option. So let's just say you have an injury and you cannot participate. Then you can go ahead and do the no sweat option. You will get a t-shirt after we complete these activities. And then the people that complete the triathlon, will also get a sticker. Okay, and this is double duty. Number one, you're supporting this healthy initiative that impacts our community greatly. And the second thing is you're getting fit and you're having fun.
Yeah.
And we know that the number one way to connect is to have fun. So if you're feeling distant from your husband, if you're feeling distant from your kids, if you're feeling distant from your friends, what you need to do is just forget everything, just go on out and have fun. So that's what we're hoping will happen.
Yeah.
Not only will you become fit, you'll have fun, and it will promote healthier relationships, and it will help us in regards to our missions. We are only supported by grants and by private donations. So we need your help.
Okay, so if people are interested in signing up for this, what do they need to do?
What they need to do is go to pastoralinstitute.org /try to relate. And that's TRITO relate. Try to relate.
Okay, and when do you have to be, what's the registration deadline?
Yes, we start on Saturday.
Okay.
So it's the month of April.
So the entire, okay.
Then, now you can even register the 15th of April if you want,
Okay.
and you only want to do the run. If
Right.
you want to do that, then that's fine.
So you can just break it up.
Right. So like me, I go work out in the morning, so I'll do a bike, one day. I might do a swim on the weekends. You can go do this
Yeah.
at the lake or
Yeah.
at your pool or whatever.
Sure.
The run is a walk, a run, or a hike. And a lot of people already doing 5K runs and things like that will include that. That can be part of this.
Okay.
So we want those active people out there as well to take part in this so that we can just have a healthier community.
That's such a great idea.
I know,
I've
isn't
never
it?
heard of an event like that, and I love it.
I know, it's
because
great.
it gives everybody an opportunity to work at their own pace. And
Well, not only that, this can go, I'm competing against my friend in Seattle.
perfect, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a friend in Israel who's doing it.
Really?
So this can be anywhere, anytime, anyone. So if you want to go swimming at 1 o'clock in the morning, you
Yeah.
got a pool in the back,
Sure.
then you can do it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not like a triathlon where you're there all day and you have to do all these activities at once. We want to make it easy, we want to make it fun, but we want people to realize that they can accomplish this. Because what better way to say, hey, you know what, I completed a triathlon.
Right.
Especially if you're with your friends and families or coworkers, it's a great challenge for coworkers to just get fit in time for summer.
That's great. I love the idea. I love the idea. So definitely encourage people to go register, pastoralinstitute.org, try to relate.
And it's $45. And just so you know that you are supporting our mission. So you will get a t-shirt, but when you think about it, $45, you can go out to a movie and spend that much.
I just did that yesterday.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So this is supporting a good mission, but
Yeah,
it's also
it's great.
helping you to become fit and to challenge one another. My son and I will be doing this as well, challenging one another.
See,
on this.
that's great. You've got a whole group together.
Yeah, I do.
That's
I
great.
do.
Right from the start, Monica Kobus, thanks for joining
Thank
us
you.
today.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming in and talking about it. And we'll be right back with more of Eye on Columbus.
I am a teenager.
I am online.
I enjoy sharing thoughts.
Music.
Videos.
Ideas.
Information.
I will not
be a victim to threats.
to stalking,
To soliciting.
to predators.
I will be responsible.
I will be careful.
I will be honest.
I will be smarter. I would get my parents involved.
I will protect myself.
I will be safe.
I am a teenager.
And I
And I
Will not.
be bullied.
The odds of this daughter of a clergyman spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Eye on Columbus. I'm Robin Wallace in the studio. Now my guest has changed to DJ Jones.
How are you?
How are you?
Wonderful. Good to see you.
So good to see you. What have you been up to lately?
Man, I tell you, my life has gone full circle since we worked together some
Yeah,
10, 12 years ago.
absolutely. Well, tell me a little bit about what you're doing now. Tell
Okay.
the audience
All
what
right.
you're doing.
Of course, Sports Visions, you know us as a television show and
Right.
a sports magazine, but we actually, my partner Dale Williams and I, 13 years ago in September, this September, we started this company and man,
I remember that.
I tell you, it's a blessing. It really is a blessing to still be able to do what you love, wake up every day, go to work, and of course you're involved in sports. You're talking about sports, but then we've brought some other things to the table. We most recently started a sports magazine a couple of years ago, and of course several months ago we've added a bus service, a charter bus and party bus service, because again, when you think about all the games that we cover and all the venues and the concerts here and of course out of town, we could bring a group of people together,
Yeah,
big groups, small
just
groups together.
Trying to provide a service, a
Absolutely,
need.
absolutely.
Because there's definitely a need for that.
But it's been going well, and thanks to a lot of partners in the community, we've been able to really make some people happy. And of course, in particular, we're more proud of the young athletes that we're able to honor. And,
Well, you do so much for the kids here in the community.
well, again, somebody did it for us. You know, that's the main thing with what we do, and that's why we take so much pride in what we do. Dale and I both grew up in this community.
Yeah.
We played in the Little League parks here, and again, you know, to go off to the University of Georgia, have a successful collegiate career, and I went on to the pros and had an opportunity to experience it at the highest level, and to come back home to get involved in radio and television and to start a business. It all has been a blessing.
Well, and what's great is, I mean, you know, it's great to come back home, but you love home so much and you've given back so much to the community. And I love what you're doing now. Talk about this event that you've got coming up.
April the 20th, that's a Thursday, the third Thursday
Okay.
in April. We started our inaugural last year, but our second annual Columbus Valley Area High School Female Athlete of the Year Awards.
I love it.
And, you know, of course, everybody.
Nobody does anything like that.
Not for the young ladies in particular.
No.
I mean, you always see the guys.
The guys, yes.
But Dale and I, you know, we started almost 10 years ago with our high school football awards luncheon. And we developed that, and over the years, again, thanks to a lot of our great partners in the community and supporters and sponsors. However, what we created, we didn't know quite, it ended up this great, because we've attracted national level speakers, of course. Nick Saban, the coaches, top coaches in the country. Gus Malzahn has been here to speak at our high school football awards luncheon. When Mark Richt was at the University of Georgia, he was there. But again, Kirby Smart was here just last year. Yeah. So we've, over the last few years, man, this thing has become such a phenomenal event. Matter of fact, Kirby Smart told us that this was probably one of the top high school football awards luncheons that he's been a part of. And, you know, he come from Alabama to Georgia. Wow. That's pretty impressive. And,
that is impressive.
And again,
and to have it right here in Columbus.
Right here in Columbus.
That is great.
But again, to get back to our Female Athlete of the Year Awards luncheon, we wanted to make sure that we took care of the young ladies, because you know they are such an integral part of our community as well, and they do so much. Of course, you know, we've even evaluated the fact that the GPAs, you know, these young athletes, they play football, they play softball, basketball, track, they play golf, volleyball, and then they still maintain the high GPAs, which is really impressive. And we're going to have 40 of the top student athletes, female student athletes from all over East Alabama, West Central Georgia, come together, have a nice dinner, have a fabulous speaker, Columbus State University's head women's coach, Anita Howard, who just won the Peach Belt Conference title and also the Southeast Regional title. So in her first year here at Columbus State,
Very exciting.
no, she has some inspirational and motivational words for the young ladies.
And that's so important for them because, I mean, this is just a stepping stone for so many of them because, you know, out of those 40, how many are going to go on, you know, to have college careers and, you know, and have scholarships available to them? I mean, I'm sure the statistics to that are pretty high.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you mentioned that. We do need to go back and start with last year's female athletes, and of course we have a study similar for the high school football
Yeah,
players.
yeah.
And we currently actually have several of our awardees, past winners on the football side, playing in the National Football League. Isaiah Crowell is a two-time winner of our Sports Vision's Offensive Player of the Year, and of course you mentioned the girls going to school this year, and particularly one of the young ladies that we will be honoring. Her name is Tatiana Wyatt from Columbus High School. She has already signed to play basketball at Kentucky, and she has a 4.2 grade point
wow.
average.
That's impressive.
That
Okay,
is
that's a
impressive.
name to be watching, though, you know, for sure.
That's that's
in the,
definitely
in the next 4 years.
Tatiana Wyatt.
yeah,
But there's a
absolutely.
lot. There's like I said,
Oh,
over
yeah,
40.
there's-
You know,
yeah.
I just singled her out because she just won the state championship. She hit the big shot.
Right.
She won our Sue Walton Outstanding Female Athlete of the Year award last year, and of course, she's in tight contentions again to possibly repeat.
Wow, that's great. Well, how do you get tickets to this event? How do you participate in the event?
You can contact me or Dale. My number
Okay.
is 706-681-1136. Dale's number is 706-681-5192. We do have table sponsors available, and of course we have some higher level sponsors, but we can give you all that information when they contact us.
Okay, and then you also have a website,
Yes,
sportsvisionusa.com.
that's correct.
Tell me a little bit about some of the content on the site.
Well, you know what? You can see our weekly show. You know,
Okay.
we archive the show every week. Of course, this week's show is out right now again, but you can go back and see some of the shows of past. Our sponsors, of course, some stories, some of the places that we've traveled throughout the Southeast during our job.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Of course, you can find out a whole lot about what we've done and who we
Right.
are. If you say, well, who are you guys? You can find out, where we grew
Well,
up.
and there's so many people new coming to the community. I
Absolutely.
mean, I've known you a long time, so
Right.
I know your background. But
Absolutely.
there are so many people that are new to this area that are constantly coming and don't realize.
And not only that, in covering sports, especially high school sports and college sports, I've been in the business going to be 20 years in radio and television here.
Right.
And of course, we've evolved. And, from my playing days at Georgia to the pros and Dale's playing days as well, we take for granted sometimes that people know us and that, what you almost have to reintroduce yourself to people. And because, again, you got
Right.
different generations that we've covered here in the Chattahoochee Valley. So we have a lot of talks about, man, look, we don't, I hate to, blow our own horns, but we got to let these folks know our credentials
Right.
because we are second to none.
Right, that's true. Well, tell us a little bit about some of the other things that you guys do.
Well, you know what? Again, I mentioned that we had the bus service, but
Right.
we have dabbling in the concert business. We
Yes.
did a show in 2015.
Right.
We brought in Howard Hewitt and SOS Band. We had it at the amphitheater. But again, the future projects, again, I'll be seeing you, I'm sure.
At the Civic Center,
That's
yeah,
right.
we would love to see you at the
That's
Civic
right.
Center because you guys are always. I mean, you've got so much going on. I don't know how you keep up.
Well, it's fun. It's fun, and again,
well, you can tell you guys are having fun at it.
You know what? We were exposed at an early age, again, leaving Columbus, going off to the University of Georgia, and of course, experiencing the championship lifestyle in the SEC, and again, the professional experience, and then we both made the transitions out of the private sector, into the private sector from athletics. And I've worked for some tremendous companies around the country, from Mizuno USA, the sporting goods manufacturing company, to a big company up in New York, Osher Sports, medical company, Johnson & Johnson, Soul Surgical Instrumentation. Been exposed so much to so much. And same with Dale. He's been he had a spat in politics, and he's been he was served on several boards here. But again, giving back to the kids is probably the most rewarding thing that we've done. And both of us, again, won championships. I've been on a Super Bowl team. Starting this business and putting us back home in Columbus to devote the time and to give this exposure to the kids, because we know what it's like to have your name called on television or on the radio. We know what it's like to get your name, get recognized at an awards luncheon where you get to come up and get a trophy, you get to put on nice clothes, but that's
And you get to bring your family out, and your
Exactly.
family gets to see, and it's like, look, I've worked so hard, and
Yes.
and I'm good.
Yes, absolutely.
That is great. Okay, Sports Vision USA. Definitely check out DJ Jones and his partner Dale Williams because you guys have a lot going on, and I can't keep up with you.
Well,
There's a lot.
That's why I'm here, to let you know what we got going
Well,
on.
that's great. Well, that's great. Well, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it so much. DJ Jones, always a pleasure seeing you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of Eye on Columbus.
Hi, this is Freddie Jackson, and I'll be in your town on May 13th at the Columbus Civic Center for Mother's Day. So come on out so I can rock you for old time's sake.
I am a teenager.
I am online.
I enjoy sharing thoughts.
Music.
Videos.
Ideas.
Information.
I will not
I will not be a victim to threats.
to stalking.
To soliciting.
To predators.
I will be responsible.
I will be careful.
I will be honest.
I will be smarter.
I would get my parents involved.
I will protect myself.
I will be safe.
I am a teenager.
And I
Will not.
Be bullied.
Welcome back to Eye on Columbus. DJ, thanks again so much for coming in. I really appreciate
Now, we
it.
talked about all the things that I've done, but let's catch up with you. What's going
Okay.
on? You're doing some wonderful things at the Civic Center.
Well, we are staying really busy at the Civic Center. You know, the Cottonmouths are wrapping up their season, and we're in the process, you know, they're looking for new owners, so we're hoping that the team will stay local. The Columbus Lions indoor football team, you know, they've come off of a championship, new year, new league.
Yes.
They've got a lot going on. I've always loved the indoor football, and I know you like it too
Yes.
because you have a history with the indoor football team as well. But I like it because it's just so condensed and it's action. I mean, it's so quick. I mean, you know, you miss a minute, you miss a lot.
The great thing too is Jason Gibson, the coach. They've added some more local players. More
Yes.
recently, Corey Collier played at Carver, played at Clemson, had a little stint in the National Football League, but he was just recently added. So again, it's always great to have that hometown flavor.
Oh yeah, it's great. Well, we love it, and there's lots of Columbus Lions games coming up. We've got Chris Stapleton, that's a country artist that has come on the scene a couple of years ago.
Now that's sold out, right?
It is sold out.
Wow.
It is sold out. And the great thing about that show is that you know, we were able to get it months ago, and he just continues to just get bigger and bigger and bigger as an artist and entertainer. And do want to tell people though, you know, with that many people coming into a sold out show and it being on a weeknight starting at 7 o'clock in the evening, people need to get there early. That's my best advice that I can give you. Get there early. And people say, well, how early? Well, doors open at 6. I'd get there at 5.
That's
I
smart.
mean, you think about
Right.
it, you know, there's one way in Veterans Parkway, and, you know, there is the back entrance, of course, but through Victory Drive, but that main entrance is that one way, and you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of people trying to get in that one, you know, that one area. So,
I tell you guys do a great job down there. I just saw the Harlem Globetrotters, and
Yes.
Charlie Wilson just was in here, so almost sold out concert.
Yeah, Charlie Wilson was almost sold out. Again, fantastic concert. That was so good. But we've got a lot of other great concerts coming up. We've got the Mother's Day show coming up on May 13th with Freddie Jackson and Denise
Yes.
Williams, and that's going to be a great show. We've got the Spring Fling Carnival coming up, and that event runs for 10 days on April 7th through the 16th. And that is a free carnival, no cost to you to get
Okay.
into the event. So you can come on in, enjoy the free attraction. It's called the Aussie Kingdom, and it's an Australian themed show that is educational for the kids, and they have different animals. They have wallabies and kangaroos and Australian birds. It's really a neat show, and that's free. Doesn't cost you a thing, so there's no reason not to come
You
for
talk
that.
about, I have a great job, you have a great job. What's the most exciting part of your job, of what you do?
I would have to say that the most exciting thing is no 2 days are ever alike. I think I would get bored with a desk job that I did the same thing over and over again. That's what I love about my job, because we have new events coming in, you know, for all different demographics of people. Seeing people come into those shows, I mean, they're there to enjoy themselves and have a good time and make memories. And so that's what it's all about for me. I love it. One of my favorite shows of the year is Disney on Ice. To me, watching those kids come in and seeing the expressions on their faces when they realize that they're at Disney on Ice. I mean, it's so magical. That show is coming up April 27th through 30th. We have several shows.
Robin, as the marketing director at the Civic Center, there's some folks out there that probably want to know exactly what your job description is.
Well, What is my job?
You wear a lot of hats?
I wear a lot of hats. Of course, I handle all the marketing and the promotions, everything you see on the website and social media. I do all of that.
Wow.
I've got my hands involved in all these shows, so especially with all the advertising. I work at the venue, so it takes us days to prepare for an event. I mean, as soon as Charlie Wilson was over and we got that show out of the building, we're working toward the next event. We have this weekend, we've got football, and then we've got, the Charlie Wilson, we've got the, we had the Charlie Wilson
Right.
concert, then we have the Stapleton concert, and then we have Jeff Dunham coming. So, I mean, it's constant. I mean, we're constantly working to get the building ready for the next event. So
Awesome.
there's a lot of people that have their hat involved in things, and it's a lot, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay, now that we've given everybody an opportunity to know what's going on at the Civic Center and know who you are, I guess you can close it out.
Yeah, we can close it out by telling everybody that if you need any information about any of the events that we just talked about, ColumbusCivicCenter.org is the place to go. There's a link to Ticketmaster. It's got information on all of the events that I just talked about. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And that's what's going on at the Civic Center, the center of it all.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks again, DJ.
Of course.
I'll see you again soon, and we'll see all of you on the next Eye on Columbus.